Hey everybody, how's it going? I want to talk about people that struggle the most in this world, especially when it comes to parental estrangement. So I'm just going to dive back into being a slaveholder when people used to own others to run their households, work the fields, etc. And all of a sudden the Emancipation Proclamation came about and the slaves were freed. Well, I'm sure the people that had owned them really struggled to find their footing because they thought, well, my servants are gone, and what am I going to do? How am I going to plow these fields without their help? And that's just what happened. And so, if we take that and apply it to parents that believe they own their offspring, it can be very challenging when our offspring emancipate themselves from us and we think, holy cow, what the heck am I going to do? So, it is, I think, the biggest struggle for moms and dads who say, my son or my daughter, I have rights to them, I own them, I gave birth to them, I invested in them, I gave them the best of the best of the best. And it seemed like our best wasn't enough. And I'm not going to say good enough because any positive works is good. But I think it's difficult. I mean, years ago, parents expected their sons and daughters to leave the nest, but I think it's because they had so many children, they didn't know what to do. Where's the old mother in the shoe? I don't know. But, anyways, a lot of parents say, these are my children. My children would never leave, and I've done so much for them, and they feel their kids owe them. And for myself personally, when my daughter was a little girl, she was 9 years old, she'd say, Mom, you can leave me at home if you want to run down to Walgreens. I'm okay by myself, and eventually I'm going to get my own place. And I understood that because we all eventually left home in my family. But eventually she had to get out and do her own thing. And I think if we start considering our children are separate entities and that they are meant to fly, I think it may get easier when they decide to move on, whether it's suddenly or over time. And I think on the flip side, if we look at today with the rising costs of living, some kids never leave. They're 20, 25, 30 years old, and they don't plan on moving out because it's just cheaper to stay at home. So I think the biggest struggle some people have are those people that believe they have rights to their sons and daughters. Or on the flip side, people that can't get rid of them. So, so if you're like me and you know your children would eventually leave, um, I don't know. I think maybe when we start to separate ourselves from them and give them some grace and leeway, I think there just comes a point in time when we have to let them go. Give them to God and pray for them because there's really nothing else we can do. An adult has the right to their own life and their own decisions, and that's all there is to it. So anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about, and I will be back.